What's up, gamer? My name's Waluko, and today I'm going to show you all the different things that the quality stat can do for your character in Path of Exile 2. Quality can be found on just about any kind of equipment that your character can wear, and it does different things based on whatever kind of equipment it's on. So let's run through each one. First of all, if any kind of armor has quality, it will increase whatever base defenses are on that armor by the percentage of the quality. In just about all cases, the maximum quality you can get on any kind of item is 20%. So if you find a helmet that has a base evasion rating of 100, if you then raise its quality to the maximum of 20%, the helmet will then be at 120 evasion rating. This also stacks with any other modifier on the gear that affects those defenses, so it may not sound like a lot, but it can actually give you quite a bit of extra defense, no matter what kind of gear you're wearing. If you want to raise the quality of your armor, that is to say your helmet, body armor, gloves, or boots, you can do so by using armorer's scraps, which can be obtained randomly as drops from enemies, or by salvaging any kind of armor that already have quality at the salvage bench. Each armorer's scrap gives a random amount of quality that varies depending on the item level of your armor. Generally speaking, the amount of scraps you need to reach the maximum of 20% quality gets higher the further you go into the game. Next up, if any kind of martial weapon has quality on it, that is to say any weapon you actually hit stuff with like maces, quarterstaves, and bows, the quality will increase the base physical damage of that weapon by the percentage of quality up to 20%. As with armor, it stacks with any other modifiers on the weapon that also increase its physical damage, so it can make for a pretty significant damage boost on a well-rolled weapon. If you want to raise the quality of any martial weapon, you use blacksmith's whetstones, which can be obtained randomly as drops from enemies, or by salvaging other martial weapons that already have quality at the salvage bench. Like armorer's scraps, each blacksmith's whetstone gives a random amount of quality that varies depending on the item level of your martial weapon. Caster weapons are a little different. There are currently 3 kinds of caster weapons in Path of Exile 2, scepters, wands, and staves. They don't have base physical damage stats like martial weapons do, so quality does other things for them. For scepters, quality increases the base spirit stat by the percentage of quality. Wands and staves, on the other hand, don't have any kind of base stat at all. All they do is grant your character a new skill. So adding quality to a wand or a staff adds a bonus specifically to that skill. The exact details of that bonus are different for each ability granted by a wand or staff, so if you want the details of that bonus, you can open your skill panel, find the skill that your character got from the weapon, and if you're on PC, hold the Alt key while mousing over the ability, or if you're on console, press the right stick while you have the ability selected, and when you do that, the tooltip should expand a little bit and show an extra stat that says additional effects from quality. At the time that I'm making this video, the tooltips are currently bugged to always show 0% for the bonus, no matter how much quality is on your wand or staff, but if you do have any quality at all on your weapon, the skill is still gaining that bonus. If you want to raise the quality of your caster weapon, then you can use a currency called Arcanist's Etchers, which, believe it or not, can be obtained randomly as drops from enemies or by salvaging other caster weapons that already have quality at the salvage bench. Each Arcanist's Etcher gives a random amount of quality that varies depending on the item level of your caster weapon. We were just looking at them, so next let's talk about quality for skill gems. Just like the skills granted by caster weapons, skills given to you by skill gems can also get bonuses from quality. They are also different for each one, so you can check the details of each of your abilities the same way we did with the abilities from caster weapons. Find the one you want to check, mouse over it, and hold the Alt key if you're on PC, or press the right analog stick if you're on console, and that will show you the bonus. If you want to raise the quality of a skill gem, you can do so by using a gem cutter's prism, which can only be obtained as a random drop from enemies. There's nothing you can salvage at the salvage bench to get more. On the plus side though, each gem cutter's prism that you use on a skill gem always adds exactly 5% to the gem, so you only need 4 to reach the maximum of 20% quality on any of your skill gems, no matter how far you get into the game. Next up, your flasks can get quality too. Adding quality to a flask increases the amount of life or mana that it recovers by the percentage of quality that's on it. If you want to raise the quality of your flasks, you can do so by using a currency called Glassblower's Baubles, which can only be obtained randomly as drops from enemies. Similar to armor and weapons, each bauble gives a random amount of quality that varies depending on the item level of the flask. Believe it or not, even your charms can have quality too. Quality on charms increases the duration of the charm's effect by the percentage of quality that's on it. The biggest thing to know about charm quality is that there's no currency that lets you raise it. The only way to get any reasonable amount of quality on a charm is to find one that drops from an enemy with quality already on it. Just like any other kind of quality gear, charms that drop with quality will always have their name starting with the word superior, so keep your eyes out for charms that start with that word while you're farming. Technically speaking, you can add quality to a charm by using a Valor Bonnet and getting lucky, But if you vow a charm that already has quality on it, you're just as likely to lose some of that quality as you are to gain any. So it's always going to be a gamble to do that. Finally, the last things that your character can get quality on are rings and amulets. Quality works the same for both, and it's a little different from anything else. When you reach the end game and you start finding these big, beautiful purple encounters called breach hands, you'll start finding these things called catalysts. There are a bunch of different kinds of catalysts that you can get from breaches, but each one boosts a specific kind of modifier on rings and amulets. So if you have a sapphire ring which gives cold resistance, and you use tools catalysts which boost cold modifiers, to raise that ring's quality to 20%, all of the cold modifiers on that ring will have their values increased by 20%. The last thing to know about catalysts is that you can only have one kind of quality on any piece of jewelry. So if you try to use a catalyst on a ring that already has a different kind of quality, then it will overwrite the original quality type and start you back at the beginning with the new kind of quality. Like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of different things that quality can do for you depending on where it's at, and it's worth getting as much of it as you can to improve your character as you progress through the game. If you have any questions about any of the different kinds of quality, then feel free to ask me in the comments. If you found this guide helpful, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more like it. Lastly, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.